Hello humans, Undead Grizzly here, and today I decided to do a very interesting video. As you can see, I'm actually wearing a face mask as well as my hat. Yes, this is interesting. So I do want to apologize for not putting up videos. I do apologize in general. So hopefully this will be a very good video, hopefully. Not too long ago, I just recently followed a YouTuber called the Illuminati. I'll leave the link in the description. So, and of course, she does like edgy reviews and stuff. Basically, yeah. So basically, one of the videos she did, I didn't see the whole thing. I think, this would be interesting if I actually did this, if I actually did a video about this. So here I am. Let's do this. Oh, before we started, I know if you guys and girls are new to the channel and you like what you see, or if you want to be part of the Grizzly Bear Army, feel free to subscribe and as well as hit the bell notification so you can get all the notices for my videos. And of course, I'm gonna try to have a more consistent upload schedule. So hopefully Tuesdays and Thursdays starting now. Saturdays as the makeup. So I'll be uploading on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and of course Saturdays will be the makeup, just in case if I refuse to do both those days, because I'm trying my best to yeah. So as you can tell, I'm actually on my tablet. The top the top is actually the text-to-speech app, and the bottom is the hat, is the candy, is the website. Basically, when the Illuminati did the video on this, I was like, "When is this real?" Went to my app, and holy shit, it is real. So I decided, hopefully, I don't get claimed or striked or shot at. I'm actually going to do a little bit of disappointed, not a joke, a real review. I might try that. So I hope you guys like this. So hell has no fury. Huh, I mean, let's do this.
No surprises for me anymore. Hell holds no surprises for me anymore. This is a cautionary tale, and unlike most of the other reviews on this product, this is a true story and its authenticity can be qualified by a small news item that appeared in the Toronto Star's local news section during the month of April in 2013, much to my chagrin.
Yep, and of course, this review happened in May by Jeffrey. So I'm gonna try to have a little bit of confidentiality. So let's continue.
Consider myself a prudent man. Bouts of outspokenness are craving attention, and certainly not one to rock the boat. Any given day I can be found reading a crime novel on a park bench in the middle of the city, soaking in the opulence of nature while nibbling on my tuna fish sandwiches and fending off the voracious gulls and squirrels that threaten to spoil my repose.
Get a gun and shoot them.
I'm just joking. That's why it came as a shock to me to find myself incarcerated because of the devil's confectionery, Satan's sweetmeat, Lucifer's lozenges, the horror that is known as Haribo sugar-free gummy bears.
Okay, just to be honest, I know some people are like thinking that, video games is the devil and candy is the devil, sweet stuff is the devil, rock and roll is the devil's music. So, if you guys and girls are interested in the devil, leave a like.
Set the scene. It was late winter, early spring in Toronto, and the city had just been digging itself out from a late-season snowstorm. I was headed heading to Pearson International Airport for a red-eye flight to Amsterdam in order to give the Dutch arm of our company some training on the new software that had been installed. I'm deliberately being vague to prevent my place of work from being linked in any way to the incident that occurred.
Okay.
Just finished packing, checked the time and found I was running late. My flight was at 7:10 p.m. and it was now almost 5 p.m. I ran out to the car and threw my bags in the trunk, hitting the gas a little harder than usual in my haste to make it to the long-term parking lot as soon as possible.
I'm not gonna lie, I know a lot of you people who probably haven't flown, or I haven't flown, and if you actually was wondering, okay, his flight's at 7:10, and it's like 5 o'clock, well, one thing about me, I did drove a cab. Yes, I driven a cab for like several years. Guys and girls who want to hear stories, leave a like. So, there are times where you have to be there extra early, I think about an hour and a half early, just to go through check-in, security, and of course I know security is up the ass, literally, so. But yeah, it's no joke, but like I say, it sucks.
Luckily traffic was light on the 401 and I made it to the airport in record time, but knew that my chances of making the flight were still at risk if I didn't use my time wisely.
Really?
Hadn't eaten since lunch, and I was feeling a bit hungry, my stomach rumbling loudly in protestation, which caused me to look around at the other travelers rushing past me in the busy terminal.
Oh, you know this is gonna be a good one where your stomach's rumbling, yeah, you are going to get on the flight, and of course you're going to be on the red eye. I never flew, but I heard stories where it's a long flight, no rest. Believe me, I know what it's like to not sleep for a good 20 hours. So I've been there, done that. So it's gonna be interesting.
That my bodily noises might be heard by others.
Okay.
We checked my watch and decided that I had enough time to grab a quick snack before going through the baggage check and security, and would get something more substantial once I was checked through security. A vending machine nestled in a relatively low traffic corner of the terminal and rushed over, already pulling out my credit card and mentally assessing what I had a craving for so as to save time interacting with the machine.
Okay.
And the colorful array of confection quickly coming to rest on a tantalizing, rainbow-colored bag of gummy bears with the simple white and red logo, Haribo, emblazoned across the bag and what appeared to be a slightly tweaked Helvetica rounded font.
Okay, just quickly, look a little pause just quickly. Have you guys and girls ever thought of how sweet it would be to have a delicious, luscious gummy bear? Seriously, I could eat that shit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner times 10. So, but of course, all jokes aside, you're going on a plane. You say, I need to have a quick bite, and you say, let me give me those gummy bears. Remember, kiddies, there is a thing called diarrhea. So, if you're going to be on the plane for a long period of time, I think it'd be a better idea if you actually wait until you get to your destination, probably starving to death, which I've done. I have no problem doing that, so shut up. So, this is where things gonna get a little bit interesting. Starting to get interesting.
Now I'd to pause here in the story for a moment to underscore the importance of making proper choices. Was hungry. When you're hungry, you should eat food. It is defined as a nutritious substance that people consume to maintain life. This is what food is.
Technically, kind of.
The definition of the word food has been bastardized and the meaning has been broadened to include veritably any material that can be digested, or rather, chewed and swallowed without causing death or severe illness. Sugar-free gummy bears are not food, even from this planet. In their origins,
okay, technically gummy bears should count as food because you eat it, but they're not really the type of gourmet snack it's not like a freaking entree or dessert. Well, if you want to put some gummy bears on your ice cream for dessert, hell yeah. But gummy bears, If you guys think gummy bear counts as food, leave a like. And if you think gummy bears don't count as food, leave a dislike. I'm done giving shits. And if you're still watching, and you're not subscribed, how don't you subscribe to this wonderful grizzly bear? Let's continue.
In a boardroom in hell by a top team of creative pain administrators with senior level demons rubbing their hands together in ghoulish delight as hell's chief chemist slowly lifts the veil on their new creation. Being, I made a very, very, very poor choice.
Well, yeah, you did.
Pushed the button and the vending machine ejected the brightly colored bag into my awaiting hands. Like gummy bears, they were bright but rather innocuous. They weren't overly sweet so as to become cloying, and, of course, peach candy came in the visage of a rather happy, docile bear reminiscent of the picture one's mind's eye holds of all anthropomorphic bears from Yogi to Winnie.
After hearing that, I do remember when I was younger, they did have those little. They actually did bear-shaped cookies, like the little ones, If you guys know what I'm talking about, feel free to comment. As a matter of fact, comment your favorite childhood snack that you wish you had, or you're still having even to this day. Feel free to comment and like. Let's continue. But seriously,
I was taking a bit of a holiday from life so I could relax my fastidiously regimented daily schedule a little to allow for some frivolity. For all, I was going to be in Amsterdam come morning with 16 hours to kill before I had to be.
Oh, you're in Amsterdam. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If any of you guys been to Amsterdam, let me know. I think pot is legal there.
I would take a trip down to one of the coffee shops in the red light district and really let my hair down. I wouldn't do that.
So you want a hooker?
That area of the city from the bus as I went to the hotel where I would eat at the hotel restaurant and drink sparkling water. Better enjoy the gummy bears, my one extravagance to commemorate my break from routine.
That's your mistake, you should have just waited.
The KLM line, which was mercifully short most likely because all of the passengers for my flight had already been checked through as the flight was scheduled to depart in an hour. My watch again, frowned, and absent-mindedly opened the bag of Haribo sugar-free gummy bears, and began to munch on them as the line slowly advanced.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
They tasted fine, just like every other manufacturer's brand of the colorful candy, and they were sugar-free to boot. What made the whole incident that followed so baffling, if they had tasted off or different,
To be honest, I don't think any candy would be. There are candy that's sugar free, but okay, of course these candies are sugar free, but they do have syrup and stuff in this, so you don't really need sugar in order to have diabetes, or diarrhea. But yeah, you get the
wouldn't have continued to shovel them into my mouth absent-mindedly while daydreaming about what I would order to eat from room service in my hotel in Amsterdam.
Yes, I get a barbecue bacon burger, large with the fries, soda with no ice, and a piece of hot apple pie. Oh shit, the burger tank.
Amsterdam. Gave the attendant my e-ticket and she weighed my bags. The first of the pains began in my stomach. Nothing of it
so it
begins. It up
begins.
to the fact that I needed something more substantial than gummy worms to tackle my hunger, but over the course
Bears,
of the next 5
nitwit.
minutes the shooting pain began to come in more rapid succession. I had my boarding pass printed and rubbing my stomach a little, I proceeded to security. We entertained the thought of trying to find a restroom before going through security, but at that point my discomfort was manageable and I didn't think it was getting.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting a woman in my tummy, yeah. I'm gonna skip the bathroom, and then a minute later, you end up saying, ah, shit, I got the shit.
Certainly not within
I
the
know
amount
that feeling.
of time it would take to clear security. Joined the line and started fishing for my passport to present to the agent checking tickets. I felt a thin sheet of sweat break out on my forehead and underarms, and my features flushed for a moment as a wave of heat washed over me.
Okay.
Hey, as much heat as going through security always causes.
Hey, wondering if this guy had a food allergy. I'm wondering. And two, I guess, you know, if you eat something, but if you have to take a massive dump and you're like getting hot, I didn't know that's possible. Well, no, let's not leave it to imagination. Just let's continue.
Great anxiety, and I chalked it up to pre-flight jitters. As I stood face to face with the agent and handed her my passport and ticket, that I had a glimpse of the agony that was about to begin. Felt like time rippled for a moment, as if my consciousness buckled, so intense was the pain that fired through my bowels.
Mm.
Spastically, and emitted a low moan, and felt myself take an involuntary step sideways.
Oh, okay. This is one of the situations that scares me. Is you're in the airport, and since 9/11, airport security is a bitch. TSA agents hate people in wheelchairs as well as fat people. But when you're like walking sideways towards the you went through one security checkpoint, you're walking sideways to the next one. You should know that yeah, I'm walking sideways like I'm drunk, and you have eyes on you as well, not to people with their human eyes, but also cameras, so they could say, hey, he's walking sideways, he must be drunk, he might be hiding drugs up his ass. Maybe we should do a cavity search quick.
So my head briefly and my vision blurred and then snapped back into focus. Agent was staring at me with slight consternation and asked me if I was all right.
Yep, you're dead.
Myself together, stood up straight and declared that I was fine, mortified that I had had a lapse of decorum not only in public but at the security clearance in an airport. As I fumbled off my belt to go through the metal detector, the pain in my stomach increased and I practically had to sit on the floor to take my shoes off, terrified of what would happen if I took the needle to do it. Becoming increasingly more evident to me that this wasn't just a stomach ache. This was something much worse. Child, I had had a bout of diarrhea after a trip to Mexico with my family. I remember the feeling of nausea that swept through me before my child self had surrendered to the gas pains and parked myself on the toilet for an hour. Thing and
I totally forgot. Like, it's an S. I told. You gotta love technology.
Tones left. How I was feeling now, with several key differences. The pain was worse, the sense of an impending bowel movement was so formidable it gave me temporary amnesia, and it took all of my willpower, all of it, to clench my butt cheeks together to prevent my sphincter from exploding.
Don't drop the soap.
The pain racked my body, and I half wondered if I was going to give birth to a Tasmanian devil.
A little bit into detail.
Cartoon animal chasing Bugs Bunny through the splashy, volcanic pedal that was my stomach caused me to elicit a short, maniacal bark of
Just to let everybody know, I'm doing this on an Android tablet. This is the Dragon Touch K10. It's a 10.1 inch tablet. Usually for new it will sell on Amazon for a mere $100 or more. But I found it refurbished on eBay for $49.99. Yeah, great deal. So, you know, I had to. In order to do, I had to like legit had to do like copy paste. I had to find at least. I tried to find the best text to speech apps. The first one was okay, but saving it was a bitch. Second one, it had premium. So this one, if you guys want to know which one I'm using here, I'll leave a link in the description as well. This is on the Google Play Store. I will recommend this because so far it's doing good. And two, I wonder if I would have said the actual shit would it actually do it?
As I approached the metal detector, a wild, distant look in my eyes, sweat now beginning to pour off of my like a long-distance runner in Kenya.
Oh God.
Security agent on the other side of the detector shot a quick glance over to her coworker, who narrowed his eyes and made a subtle movement towards his holster.
Oh.
Breathing became money.
That's horrible when they say, okay, I'm gonna put my hand on on my gun, just in case. Just to let you know a quick story. When I drove a cab, I had to take a person to the airport, which will be Boston Logan Airport. So basically, when I was leaving the terminal to head back to, I don't remember if this was the first care company or the second or third. But anyway, I guess there was something going on, and I saw a state trooper, or we nicknamed Stadies, coming out of the doors having a MP5 submachine gun. And believe me, they are. I never got shot. I don't intend to get shot, but I know those weapons are the shit. So, terrorists, watch your ass.
Even as I entered the metal detector, and I realized with alarm that I had taken off my socks without even registering it, and one of my shirt tails was untucked at the front.
Oh.
Breath, my eyes bulging dangerously from my head as the machine scanned me. Shakily moved forward towards the agent for a pat down. My stomach began to elicit sounds that can only be described as otherworldly. It off a sort-of bubbling sound heard from afar and grew in pitch and intensity at an alarming rate. Jaw dropped in shock as what I can only describe as the sound of an agonized wailing alley cat in heat with a persistent Doppler effect added to its voice emitted from some nether region of my intestines. Sir's eyes widened in alarm, and she kept her eyes glued to my stomach as she thoroughly patted me down.
If they're looking at your stomach, they could tell that you might be hiding drugs inside you. One thing I do, one rule, especially when I drove the cab, one of the rules I think people need to remember while you're driving is even if you're doing nothing illegal, but like treat yourself like drive in a way like you have to be very cautious, even if you're transporting drugs, because God help you if you speed, you get pulled over, and the cops have suspicion and finds out that you carried 100 pounds of marijuana and heroin. So yeah, uh, people are idiot drivers.
She reached my shins. I felt my innards suddenly expand and plummet towards my rectum. Like reflexes, I squeezed my sphincter shut with what seemed like nanoseconds to spare, and I knew that if I didn't get the bathroom immediately, I would myself. Virtually an effort and all of the strength that I could muster, I forced my butt cheeks together, knowing that one false move would open the floodgates. Walk like a duck, trying to remain as inconspicuous as possible, not even caring now what I...
If you're walking like a duck, you're not looking inconspicuous. Like you're walking like a duck and then say, wait, what's wrong with this guy? I think this guy has something up his ass. Let's try to do a cavity search. And I seen the whole thing, so you know.
Red-faced and bulgy-eyed, sweating profusely, shaking slightly and walking without bending his knees.
Oh.
Minded intensity, I grabbed my carry-on shoes and socks from out of the plastic tub that had passed the X-ray inspection, and without putting anything back on, I turned on my heels with the intention of finding the nearest restroom and slowly dying there one squirt at a time. That's not what happened.
Another quick story. I do see a psychiatrist. I think years ago when I went to see my doctor, there was a guy had to use the bathroom, and we had to go to the reception to get the keys so he can use the bathroom. So he was walking casually, and when he was walking to the bathroom, he started farting. And he went to the bathroom, and everybody, including me, we were like laughing. Like, if you had to go, I would. Yeah.
I turned to go and found myself
I'm full of stories. You'll love me, guarantee you.
If I would follow them. What's the matter? Stammered, wincing slightly as the act of speech seemed to strain the tenuous and extremely fragile truth.
And I have this Bluetooth speaker too, so that's the only way to record this in my voice better.
I pleaded. Follow us, please, they said, leaving no room for argument. Other travelers clearing the security check stared with curiosity and revulsion at the spectacle.
As long as they don't punch you in the stomach, you're good.
Pack up their belongings and get as far away from me as possible, no doubt assuming that the airport had nabbed some sort of domestic terrorist. If I hadn't been feverishly trying to hold back the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, I likely would have died of shame. The step I took towards the room that they ushered me into, I felt that my legs would give way. How strong the human will could be. what was essentially patching a hole in the Hoover Dam with bubble gum could actually be sustained indefinitely. Maybe I would make it through
Patching the
this
Hoover
ordeal
Dam with
after all.
bubblegum is stupid.
Brought me into was an examination room. Pretty much stopped registering details of my environment as my consciousness closed off all but the absolutely necessary functions: breathing, ability to walk, but I snapped back to reality when I heard the snap of rubber. Slow dawning of realization poked through my agony and stoic resolve as I turned to face an agent donning rubber gloves.
And yes, I'll leave a link to where I got this
We're going
from,
to
so.
perform a cavity search on you, a young, fresh-faced agent stated in a firm but emotionless voice. Cropped blonde hair was immaculate, and for a crazy moment I wondered if he was an actor and this was all some sort of elaborate practical joke done to amuse bored kids watching YouTube.
Tuh.
Must have taken my tortured silence for resistance, because he looked at me sharply and said, "Lower your pants and underwear please, and face the desk." Started to grip me in its icy grasp, and the sudden adrenaline threatened to destroy my sphincter's bulwarks and rend my anus in two. Felt sharply, and with a
I know
pain
the
gasp I
feeling.
doubled up my efforts to clench my cheeks together. I begged, deferring to this kid in an act of desperation. "I have to go to the bathroom. Pull me into the stall if you need to, but I had some bad Haribo sugar-free gum."
And on top of that, you know, you got like TSA agents who are probably brand spanking new, who's not used to this, but you'll learn how shitty this job can be.
Bears, and now I feel like, but they had stopped listening and smirked at each other. Two of the other agents, a tall, dark-haired female and a shorter, balding fat man, looked away from me, and I could see them shaking a little as they stifled their laughs. "Face the wall, put your hands on the desk, and spread your cheeks," the young agent stated, a lopsided grin on his face. I began to protest, and then a fresh shock of pain forced me to stop and lean on the table for support as an ungodly howling rose from my stomach, something between the dying moans of a holy mammoth and the
If you
sound
hear
of bubble
that,
wrap
if you
popping
hear that your
underwater.
agent, you might well take him to the
Vaguely, and my
bathroom.
focus began to narrow as I rallied for the final battle. Uncontrollably, and sweat literally raining down onto the tabletop in front of me, I turned to face the wall and heard a meek, childlike voice pleading from somewhere in the room.
Is that room haunted?
And then again, please. Somewhere within me, my mind recognized that this sound had issued from me, although my consciousness had now begun to separate from my body, and I held my breath and prayed to God for strength. "Probably has some heroin or something up there," that opened up, the female guard said, as a part of me that hadn't escaped into the ether yet acknowledged that she was behind me to my left, probably high as a kite. "Look at him," she said. Shorter guard agreed with a snort, off to my right. "Her cheeks," the young agent said, his voice directly behind me and lower than the other two, and bend over. "God, please, God, please, God, please, God," I whispered in a desperate, maniacal mantra, not even aware of my surroundings anymore. Like I was lost in an opium fog with half-snatched images and sounds filtering through to create a nonsensical version of reality.
I have my phone over there,
A
so.
volley of pain tore through me, and I involuntarily leaned forward over the desk, my focus completely narrowed now to a spot on the wall 2 feet in front of me, a curious imperfection in the what seemed to be whitewashed stone wall. The dark
I'm
block
not gonna lie,
about 5
that stone
millimeters long
wall
and
is gonna
shaped
be
like a
covered
smiling bear, a
in
yellow dancing bear.
nasty stuff. Wait a minute, huh?
Bear. It was all the colors of the rainbow. It was beautiful.
Okay.
Something
You know where shit is gonna hit the fan when you literally see dancing colored bears. You see a dancing bear over there, you see a dancing bear over there, and then you're like, it's beautiful, and then
was a slight breeze to trigger Armageddon.
I'm a nut.
No fanfare, no fire raining from the heavens, no dogs and cats living together in harmony, no finger on the button, no prophet to predict it, no nothing. As I stared at the rainbow bear smiling and dancing in front of me, my mouth agape, drooling, eyes glazed and bloodshot, face coated with a sheen of sweat, I heard the soft sound, an exhalation from the young agent behind me, and then at the same instant the warm air of his breath feather across my butt cheeks.
This means that his face is literally in front of his ass. How bad would it be if the guy shat all over the guy's face and his mouth was open? How bad would it be for that agent to have, he had to do this, he had to see if this guy had drugs in him, and then it's all in his face. Oh my god, I can tell that if I was an agent, I legit had to, like, see, okay, sir, I'm gonna look in your ass and see if you have any drugs. And then, by the grace of God, he shot in my face. He legit, oh god. There was a YouTube video of a woman whose skin poked in the butt, medically, for a checkup, and there's like a bunch of people. One's a doctor, the medical student. This was British, and she shot. Oh god, stop.
A moment, maybe less, maybe a split second, even a nanosecond, I felt the presence of God there with me in that room as neurons began to misfire at a blinding rate, nerve-ending bristled and muscles twitched reflexively.
Let it go.
On the brink with one foot over the edge, and then without taking a step, I found myself plummeting.
Uh-oh, he shat all over his place.
Like an extra-large plastic ketchup bottle being run over by a Mack truck, my sphincter released.
Oh no!
The blast pushed me hard into the desk, and the legs of the desk creaked as they scraped across the floor.
Oh
My body remained rigid for a moment, and I experienced a relief that can only be described as orgasmic in its purity.
no!
Eyes rolled back in my head, and my tongue lolled out of my head like a half-retarded dog, and I emitted a low, sustained grunt.
Or one of those anime girls who do like literally. Oh.
The filthy torrent pushed its way out of my body. Racked my body, and I must have looked like a fish out of water with an endless stream of S*** firing out of its ass.
Oh god, this is gastrous. I forgot about.
Started to filter, and now as my consciousness began to materialize once more, a muffled scream of a dungeon filled with prisoners near death radiated from my stomach, the rushing sound of liters of liquid trying to escape through an
I forgot this is so freaking long. How long is this?
The omnipresent sound of chunky liquid spattering against a hard surface with great force, the high-pitched screaming of a woman's voice calling out to God, another voice sobbing uncontrollably imploring to make it stop. My own ecstatic, monotone wail. My ordeal had eventually run its course. I was left panting for breath and wobbly-legged, half crying, half laughing with relief, barely lucid and feeling as if I had birthed an elephant.
Oh god,
It felt like someone had poured chili sauce all over it and then sent in a colony of fire ants to eat it. Sobs, I heard the sound of dripping, like when the sprinklers are eventually turned off after an office fire, or after a thunderstorm when the willow that overhangs a pond continues to rain down long after the sky has stopped. Behind me, the sobbing continued, and I heard someone trying to speak into a walkie-talkie, but nonsensical words were all that the man could speak, which sounded like the ravings of a lunatic. Relief, I slowly pulled myself off the table, legs trembling, my stomach eliciting one last sound, a loud prolonged gas bubbling that eerily resembled a pig orgasm. I turned my head to survey the devastation, and in that instant, if I had had a pencil or some other sharp object, I probably would have gouged my eyes out in revulsion.
Me too. Me too.
Hell was enough to drive a man insane. It was the stench of rotting potatoes mixed with sulfur and ammonia, cooked in a broth.
Yeah, thank you for helping me get a visual of that. Thanks.
Half a whiff of this foolish brine, I immediately stopped breathing through my nose, but the taste was to remain in the back of my throat for months to come. The agent had taken the brunt of the foul witch's brew, and at first I couldn't process what I was seeing.
Oh.
How the young blonde kid had been spirited away and replaced by a brown golem.
Oh no. Oh god, I can imagine that would suck if you were covered in shit. If you're literally covered in shit. Oh god, I will be pissed, at the same time horrified. I would probably need, to have to see my psychiatrist every freaking day just for that. Oh God, that is sad. Well,
Better part
kid,
of the day
you
driving
didn't,
through every mud puddle
you
he could
know.
find after a torrential downpour. Degree of compartmentalization, I came to understand that for some unfathomable reason this kid hadn't moved or hadn't been able to move through the entire fecal deluge. Weathered the entire assault head-on like some sort of hero from Greek mythology. Had given this poor schmuck a one-man asterisk
Oh God, no,
read with disgust. He
no,
was still in
don't
the same
help
position he
me
must have been from the
visualize
moment of
it.
first impact.
Yeah, two girls in a cup. Oh God.
To comprehend how he must be feeling, what he must be going through psychologically, but it became evident very quickly that he had become very broken.
Yeah, I'll be too if someone shut
So
all over
deeply
me.
within himself once the fire hose has been turned on that there was little to no hope of him ever coming back from it, certainly not without extensive psychotherapy or a lobotomy.
A lobotomy.
Looked beyond his quivering, catatonic crouched form to see a
I
perfect
think
outline
lobotomies
cut
make
out on the
things
white wall
worse.
behind him, either side filled in with a dripping, opaque layer of alternately pulpy and runny fecal stew. Two quivering masses at either extremes of the room and realized they were humanoid in form, although the caterwauling that was coming from these broken creatures was just blubbering gibberish. The tableau that was burnt into my mind's eye for eternity. Say, I missed my flight.
Of course you
The next
did.
week is a blur. I have vague recollections of an army of hazmat-clad figures looming through the brown landscape of the soiled room, the slopping sounds of rubber boats squelching in puddles of fetid detritus, uncontrollable
You
wailing and
had the
camel-like sounds
shit like
issuing from the mouths
crazy,
of
dude.
creatures that had been traumatized beyond their capacity for being put back together, the complete loss of sensation from my waist down as I was rolled through the room on a waterproof gurney, its wheels struggling
And
to surf
I
on
was
top of the
surprised.
soaked floor.
I was surprised that Amazon let this review happen.
With seated doctors
Allowed it, I
humming in on
mean.
the hour to monitor my vital signs as they tried to rehydrate my body.
After that, you
Had
lost a
apparently
lot.
expelled every available drop of water from my body
Yep.
that was possible to sustain life without for a short period of time.
Yep, you would have been dead.
My clothes were incinerated in the hospital's crematoria.
Oh,
Bag of Haribo sugar-free gummy bears was never recovered. This is my story. Conceivable to think that this kind of product can be sold legally and be misrepresented as food. I survived. Families of the survivors, and the survivors themselves, they will forever live with the trauma of the events that took place at Pearson International Airport on that snowy day in April 2013. 666 people found this helpful.
how did people find this helpful? I said, how did people find this helpful? Like, literally, I'm like, what the heck? Fucking much trouble finding it. So just look for Haribo gummy candy and go down to the reviews and guarantee you'll see it. If not, I'll still leave the link to a review. I'll also leave the link to the video as well as the person who introduced this review. Believe me, this was fucked up, and I think this video has been long, so thank you for watching. And like I say, if you're new here or if you're still here, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to slash the like button as well as the bell notification so you can get notifications of when my video goes up. And I'll be going back to uploading Tuesdays and Thursdays, if none of those days and Saturdays as a makeup. And I hope you guys are doing well during the pandemic. Thank you guys and girls for watching. Have a wonderful day. Stay beautiful. Stay awesome. Undead Grizzly Bear signing out. Oh my god, I had to look like I have a lot on my